Good morning, students. We will continue chapter 2 in history, socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. Part 4. Today we will talk about Russian Revolution. The fall of monarchy in February 1917 and the events of October are normally called the Russian Revolution. In October 1917, socialists took over the government of Russia. How did this come about? What were the social and political conditions in Russia at that time when the revolution occurred? To answer these questions, let's have a look at Russia a few years before the revolution. First of all, talk about the Russian Empire. In 1914, Tsar Nicholas II ruled Russia and its empire. This empire included Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, and parts of Poland. Thus, we can say that Russia was a big empire at that time under Tsar Nicholas II. Russian Orthodox Christianity was the main religion at that time, but the empire also included Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, and Buddhists. Now, let's talk about economy and society of that time. At the beginning of 20th century, the vast majority of Russia's people were agriculturalists. 85% of the total population earn their living from agriculture, and it was something different from other European countries where about 40 to 50% population were involved in industries. Russia at that time was a big producer of grain in Europe. The industries were located only in pockets. The prominent industrial area at that time were St. Petersburg and Moscow. In these cities also, most industry was private property of industrialists. And as you all know that these industrialists always were more concerned with earning more and more profit, and that's why they used to take maximum work from the workers and paid very less wages. Government supervised large factories to ensure minimum wages and limited hours of work. But in craft units and small workshops, the working hours were about 15 hours as compared to 10 to 12 hours in the big factories. And that's why the workers were quite dissatisfied with this. Workers were a divided social group. It means that some of the workers had links with the villages from which they came, and others had settled permanently in the city areas. They were also divided by skill. The reason behind it was that the skilled workers were paid more wages compared to the unskilled workers. For example, the metal workers, as they were paid more wages, so they considered themselves aristocrats among other workers. They thought that they are more important than the other workers. Women also comprised 31% of the factory labor, but they were always paid less than men. Workers formed associations to help members in times of unemployment. Even if they were divided socially, in spite of that, the workers unite to strike work. Strike means to stop the work and going on the strike whenever they disagreed with employers. So we can say that even if workers were not very united, but whenever there was a matter of the employers, they used to get together to protest against the industrialists. Now, let's talk about the countryside. In the countryside or in the villages, most of the land was owned by nobles, church, and the crown. The important thing here to note down is that peasants and farmers had no respect for nobles and wanted the land of nobles to be given to them. And that's why most of the time they refused to pay rents, and even they murdered some of the landlords. But one thing which made Russian peasants different from the peasants of other European country was their commune or meal. What does it mean? It means that the peasants of Russia pulled their land together periodically. It means that there were communities in the villages. The arable land was considered of the whole community, and they formed a commune as a kind of self-government. And this commune used to divide the land according to the needs of the family members. So this is one of the most important thing and which make the Russian peasants different from the other European peasants. It is also important for exams, so please memorize this. Now, all the things which we have learned today, the points to remember. First of all, Tsar Nicholas II ruled Russia and its empire. Second, Russia's people were agriculturalists. As we discussed that 85% of the people were farmers. Industrial revolution had not taken place up to that level, and that's why St. Petersburg and Moscow were the major industrial areas. There were long working hours for laborers. As I told you that in the small workshops and craft unit, the working hours were up to 15 hours. Workers were divided in groups, but they united for the strikes. As I told you, on the basis of their skill, on the basis of the place from where they belong, they were divided. And the most important in the countryside was the system of commune, in which the peasants pulled their land together and then their commune divided it according to the needs of the families. So here we can see that the peasants were following the socialism. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.